That's the last even number. That's the last even number on the street.
I don't think I
I'll
have
figure it
enough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's,
Okay, call the order to Borough White meeting of council October 21st, 2024, 7:30 PM. Pledge allegiance, please.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Backus?
Here.
Councilor Hoffman?
Here.
Mayor Morgan?
Here.
Councilman Davis?
There.
Councilwoman Harbert?
Here.
Councilman Russell?
Here.
Councilwoman Sheridan?
Here.
Councilwoman DePaul?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Need a motion to approve the minutes from September 19th, or 9th, 2024 council workshop meeting and September 16th, 2024 council meeting.
So moved.
Got
Second.
a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Executive session, Ashley.
There was no executive session.
Thank you. Public comments under Pennsylvania Sunshine Act 65 PA CS 710.1, public participation. The Borough of Wade will provide an opportunity for residents and taxpayers of the borough to make public comments. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. Mr. McGuire, you have a comment?
Yes, sir.
Can you stand up at the podium, state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name's Bob McGuire. I live at 2600 Henderson in White Shall I step forward?
Good.
And I'm here, I just want to report two things, really. And one is, I think, is more of a public issue, public concern issue. The residents on the corner of Henderson and Fawcett. Obviously, they've had some issues going on. The weather has dropped the tree, broken the fence, and obviously it's my neighbor, right? So I've been there for a number of years. I've been there, and I've seen the house as it transitioned to this new owner, and obviously there's some financial issues going on to prevent from maintaining that piece of property. It's been 2 summers now that the swimming pool has not been used and the cover is not on the pool. And I know there's a West Nile virus issue that we all have heard on the news. And, you know, the concern for the residents of that home, I'm sure, is a concern, as well as the neighborhood, and I'm right across the street. And in addition to that, you know, you're looking at about a 4-foot pool, maybe 20,000 gallons of water that is on an elevated portion of that particular piece of property. And with deterioration around that, I would suspect that it's a possibility that that pool could collapse. And that being said, I don't think insurance companies pay for negligence, whether that negligence it's obviously apparent. So I'm assuming that, God forbid that does happen, there's going to be an issue with people getting their property repaired, as well as the family who's living there. So we've got a couple things going on. What I've mentioned with the mosquito infestation, I'm not saying it's in that particular location, but it is a warning to us all through public service. So I've called the code enforcement on 2 occasions, and I left my phone number, and I basically stated just very briefly that you know, I'd like to talk about this situation. I'm not looking for the owners of that property to be fined, penalized. I think that would be counterproductive to their lifestyle. I think a simple fix would to ask them if we can put if whoever can do public works here in the borough can put a sump pump in there, pump all that water out. I don't think that would be a real solution. You'd have to get it pumped out completely, but nonetheless, I think that can eliminate the major danger to the people living downwind of that particular piece of property, as well as the owners of that property. So I'm not here to point any fingers at anybody, but I would have liked to got a call back from the zoning officer or building inspector, or whatever his title is, him or her. I didn't receive that. And, or else I wouldn't have been here. I would have just basically said, hey, what's going on? It looks like they put some cautionary tape around the property as maybe a first intervention. And obviously, you know, that's not solving the problem. I'm not looking for anybody to get fired or any fingers to be pointed at the homeowners or fined in any way. I just think a simple fix could be to pump the water out on that particular situation.
Citations have been filed, I just don't know what the status is of the citation.
See if you can talk to the borough manager, or the ordinance officer.
Mr. McGuire, the tree that fell down, isn't, the tree is like in the pool, isn't it, or it's at least on the deck?
It actually isn't in the pool, it's an aluminum pool. I think if had that happened, it would actually break the wall of the pool.
Okay.
It's pretty doggone close though.
But the tree's at least on the fence, right?
Yes, and it did break the fence down, and you can actually walk through that piece of property because of that
Right.
down tree. So that is, you know, that's been an ongoing problem, and cautionary tape is put up there, so no one will walk in that area. So, you know, that's, you know, I hope the family who's living there doesn't experience, you know, the pool break. And just to make an addendum to this, my wife, as she was growing up, had a 4-foot above ground pool, and the wall broke. Washed out the foundation in her house. This was in Grandview, McKeesport, and the water went across the street to, if anybody knows Grandview, it was Jack the Barber, and flooded out his basement. I don't know who settled the lawsuit, or if there was, not necessarily a lawsuit. I don't know if anybody got blamed for it. I don't think my father-in-law did, but back in the day, that was a situation that I experienced. And the neighbors weren't too happy with our family, my wife's family at that time. But anyway.
The borough manager will get a hold of the.
I'll follow up with you.
Okay, and that's great. One other thing that I see is, living there on that corner of Henderson and Sharp, I constantly turn up off of Henderson, off of Lincoln Way to get onto Henderson, and that light there, if I'm coming from the Dairy Queen going towards Vans, there's an arrow, green arrow, that points you to make the left-hand turn to go up to Henderson off of Lincoln Way. And pretty routinely, that green light is burned out. The arrow that indicates a left-hand turn. The green light's fine, but the arrow indicating that you have first right to make that left-hand turn has been an issue intermittently. And, you know, I wouldn't want to see anybody, especially, you know, somebody I know, have that. Okay, all right, ladies, gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a motion, I need a motion to accept the resignation of Don Halberg effectively immediately from the position of alternate to the planning commission.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. I also need a motion to appoint Don Halberg to the zoning hearing board for the remainder of the term vacated by Ken Robb due to his passing.
So moved. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Mayor's report, Anna Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Whatever your name is. Thank you, Mr. President. Police activity, September 2024. 1 simple assault arrest, 11 assault domestic violence calls, 15 vehicle accidents, 11 domestic related incidents, 10 burglar alarms, 17 suspicious activity people vehicle calls, 3 narcotic related arrests, 40 total traffic stops, 50 issued traffic citations, 6 juvenile complaints, 8 vehicle versus deer, 2 retail theft arrests, 5 theft of property arrests, total incidents 398. That concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. Standing committee reports, Finance, Jason Russell.
Thank you. Treasurer's report for September 2024. Beginning balance, unrestricted account, $2,771,218.45. Restricted account, $4,070,865.12, for a total of $6,842,083.57. Actual revenues, unrestricted account, $593,624.15. Restricted account, $124,526.58 for a total of $718,150.73. Actual expenditures, unrestricted account, $640,035.06. Restricted account, $89,281.60, for a balance of $729,316.66. Fund balance, unrestricted account, $2,724,807.54. Restricted account, $4,106,110.10, for a total of $6,830,917.64. That's in the form of a motion.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion approving the check register for the month of September, which includes electronic fund transfers in general fund checks in the following ranges: 50524 to 50640 and 100011, totaling $640,035.06.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion authorizing the following inter-fund transfers for the month of September. Liquid fuels to the general fund, $10,684.90. Solid waste to the general fund, $69,938.50. Capital to the general fund, $498.96. Post-retirement to the general fund, $2,900.24. Fire Fund Rainbow Volunteer Fire Company to the general fund, $2,629.50. Fire Fund White Oak Number 1 to the general fund, $2,629.50. The total transfers are $89,281.60.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Motion to enter into a one-year service agreement with Shiloh Services Incorporated in the amount of $804.20 per month for computer network services for the Borough Administrative and Public Works Departments.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
That ends my report, Mr. Davis.
Thank you, Jason. Health Environment Cable, Joelle Harbor.
Thank you, President Davis. I motion to authorize payment to Kevin Kane for wildlife control services in the amount of $850 for the month of September.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And I motion to authorize payment to the Hideaway Kennels for animal control services in the amount of $370 for the month of September.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Joelle. Parks and Recreation, Julie Overman.
Thank you, President Davis. I have a few announcements. We did have our second annual Oktoberfest celebration. I believe that everybody that came had a great time. Not sure if we'll do it again next year, but I do know that just from some of the comments of people that were there, it was a success. White Oak Borough Halloween Parade and Trunk and Treat event will be held Saturday, October 26th from noon until 2 p.m. at Sampson Mills Presbyterian Church. Parade lineup will begin at 11:30 a.m. White Oak Borough Trick or Treat will be on Thursday, October 31st from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. The White Oak Borough Season of Lights and Holiday Market is scheduled for Saturday, November 30th from 2 until 5 p.m. Pancake sausage brunch with Santa at Rainbow Fire Company. 3 to 8 p.m. Holiday Market up at Heritage Hill Park. 6 p.m. lighting of the holiday tree at Heritage Hill Park. It's a great event featuring vendors, hot chocolate, bonfires. We'll have the horse-drawn carriage rides again, prizes, storytellers, photos with Santa. It looks to be about twice as big as it was last year, so please plan on attending. I do need a motion to purchase a 16-foot LED lighted tree for the Season of Lights Holiday Market from Wayfair in the amount of $459.99.
A motion on the floor, to have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
Julie?
Yes.
Sorry. On the Season of Lights, I wanted to remind everybody that we are still accepting 1-gallon milk jugs cleaned out here at the Borough Building. I'm going to accept them until the week before the holiday market. So if anybody has any, you can bring them down here and they'll collect them, and then I'll grab them from them. So, thank you.
Sounds good. George, I know the seniors have been extremely busy.
Thank you, Julie, for that introduction. Last Wednesday was our Life Options Resource Fair, and we had 23 vendors and about 100 people went through our doors. So that was a busy day. Last Tuesday, we had the Altoona Curve train trip, and 55 seniors were on that train and all had a good time. The remaining October schedule, which is only a week, yoga on Wednesday, coffee hour on the 31st, Thursday the 31st at 9:30, and this Wednesday the 23rd from 1 until 2. Former Chief Joe Hoffman is going to have a personal defense class. Tuesday at 1 o'clock is our cardio drumming. In November, yoga again Mondays and Wednesdays, coffee hour only on November the 14th. Cardio drumming on each Tuesday except Thanksgiving week. Wednesday the 13th at 1 o'clock is our monthly meeting, and we will have a salute to the veterans by the McKeesport High School Choir. And on Saturday the 23rd, that's Pittsburgh Light Up Night. The seniors going to go aboard the Gateway Clipper. And in December, cardio drumming is on the 3rd and 10th, Christmas party on the 12th, Thursday the 12th at 1 o'clock with Mickey D. And starting in January, the 21st at 2:30, we will have a gentle exercise class with Nancy Stotler, and that runs 8 weeks. And that's it for the seniors for now.
I know that fair, the information fair, was extremely beneficial. My mom was able to get her medication reduced from a representative that was there, so it's a great service. So thank you.
I
Appreciate
want to say
it.
one more thing. I'd like to thank Joelle for her artistic ability on our monthly flyers.
You're welcome.
That's it.
All right. Thanks, George. Lori, anything with the White Oak Athletic Association?
Yes, so White Oak Athletic Association is finishing up their basketball signups. They will be having a draft at the end of this week. I believe it's on Saturday. So far, they have 291 children that signed up. They will be starting their season right the week after Thanksgiving. And that's all.
Lori, is that a comparable number to how many kids they usually get, or is that a higher number? Or?
It's a decent number. They've paired up with a couple different areas also, so not all of the games will be played only at White Oak Athletic Association. So there's about 3 other areas that they'll be playing at also.
What's the age group?
The age group is kindergarten through 9th grade.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you, Julie, George, and Lori. Planning and zoning, Amanda DePaula.
Thank you, President Davis. I am just going to read some highlights from the Code Enforcement Department report for September. The following inspections were conducted during the month of September: 38 occupancy inspections, 11 occupancy re-inspections, 6 rental inspections, 7 complaint inspections, and 4 violation inspections. The following permits, certificates, or notices were also issued: 27 certificates of occupancy, 2 temporary certificates of occupancy, 1 temporary access certificate, 8 zoning permits, 4 permit applications were sent to CEA for review, 3 residential building permits were received back from CEA and processed, 1 commercial building permit was received back from CEA and processed, and 3 violation notices were issued. That concludes the highlights, and the department report will be available for inspection at the Borough office.
Thank you, Amanda. Public safety, Lori Charter.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Last week, the
last week, for Fire Prevention Day, both of our fire departments were up at Francis McClure teaching fire prevention and fire safety. Also, for the police, as most of you know, the police contract will be up at the end of this year. We have begun meeting with the FOP representatives to discuss their new contracts. And that's all.
Thank you, Lori. Public Works, George Mambakis.
Thank you, Chuck. Last month's work, month of September, there were about 800 man hours. 205 of those hours were rebuilding catch basins, 103 hours mowing the grass at the parks, and 97 hours repairing equipment and trucks. The entire report is available here during normal business hours. I want to note that our leaf collection starts next Friday, November 1st, and they are picked up on your trash day. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, George. Need a motion to accept the tax collector's reports and pay the commissions and fees due for September 2024.
So moved.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Engineers report, Amber, you on?
Thank you, Mr. President. The borough has received applications for land development projects that our office is actively reviewing. There are three separate projects, three separate applications for redevelopment. There is a proposed residential development at the former elementary school site. There is also a proposed site improvements project located at the Mary Mother of God Church. And the third proposed redevelopment site is the former the active Taco Bell site. They're proposing to redo that restaurant. So 2 review letters have been issued and 1 is forthcoming. Next, I'd like to mention that the Penny and R prepared and submitted a cost estimate for Phase 2 of the walking trail paving project located at Heritage Hill Park. The estimate for construction is $60,000, and it's for the borough's use to supplement their grant application. There is a resolution on tonight's agenda that will need to be passed in order for the borough to proceed to apply for the LSA grant funding for that project. And that is all I have for this evening.
Thank you. I need a motion to accept the engineer's report and pay the fees due to Penn E&R Inc. for invoice 25571 dated October 4, 2024, totaling $3,250, and invoice 25685 dated October 15, 2024, totaling $3,785.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Solicitor's report, Ashley.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Our office is continuing with our delinquent garbage collection efforts, and anybody who still is interested in either making a payment towards your delinquent garbage balance or getting on a payment plan, please contact me at my office phone number, and I'd be happy to assist with that. Also, we have a condemnation and demolition hearing for 1139 California Avenue that's scheduled for November 18th. That's the same evening of our regular council meeting for November. There will be a court reporter here, as well as our code enforcement officer, John Snelson, who will be a witness for the borough. And also on tonight, there's going to be a motion on the agenda to authorize me to proceed forward with ordering some title work for 4 different properties for separate condemnation and demolitions. And that's the end of my report.
I need a motion to accept the solicitor's report and pay the fees due to Tucker Aaronsburg Attorneys for invoice 679710 dated October 8, 2024, totaling $10,552.79.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Need a motion to authorize the solicitor to proceed with the condemnation process of structures located at 8 Allen Way, 2172 Lewis Street, 610 Osborne Street, at 612 Osborne Street as a result of numerous property maintenance and structural code violations.
So moved.
Second.
A motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Resolutions and ordinances. Ashley.
So originally on the agenda tonight, we have ordinance 2024-28 for approval, but Mr. President, I'm asking for somebody to make a motion to table this ordinance for approval until next month.
Need a motion to table this ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed.
And then we have one resolution on the agenda for approval tonight. It's Resolution 2024-29. It's a resolution of the Borough of White Oak, County of Allegheny, and Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, authorizing the filing of a $60,000 grant request under the statewide local share assessment grant program through the Commonwealth Financing Authority, and approving the president and borough manager as authorized signatories for all grant documents for the Heritage Hill Park Walking Trail Improvements Project, Phase 2.
Need a motion to approve resolution 2024-29?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Question on the motion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed. Do we have any new business?
Yes. I just wanted to announce that Rainbow Fire Hall is hosting a toy bash on November 9th at White Oak Athletic Association, where the doors will open at 3:30. If you're interested, let us know.
Okay, do we have any old business?
I have one thing. I'd like to remind our residents that the new playground up at Heritage Hill Park is operating. Our street department has done a wonderful job on that. It was sorely needed update. I know that my grandkids were up there often, and I've noticed a lot of other children there as well. So I welcome everybody to go up there. That's it.
Chuck, I also wanted to mention that White Oak Fire Hall #1, they just finished up. They were partnering with CT Industries as a drop-off site for donations for Hurricane Helene, and they just finished up. They held that from the 12th through the 18th.
Alrighty, thanks, George and Lori. That's November 11th, 2024, 6:45 council workshop meeting. November 18th, 2024, 6:45 council workshop meeting. 7:30 the same night as the council meeting. Need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. It's video. It's video now.
That's true.
Okay, can we go back and chat?
Catch base.
So it's kind of like a general concept. It doesn't have to be that exact.